Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Richie from Richie Studios, and E3 is upon us. Games have been announced, new things have been shown, and we're here to talk about it all. That's right, folks. We're going to talk about the first three major events that I consider major events of E3 so far. Let's start off with Ubisoft Forward. Yeah, I say Ubisoft. Some people say Ubisoft, whatever. The point is, I think this event was mediocre. I'm sorry, I know I personally have highlights with it. There are games I'm interested within this presentation. I just thought the overall execution of this presentation was pretty bad. Like, this is basically how it went. The first thing they showed us was like a cinematic, then an interview with the developers, and then like actual gameplay. When in reality, I think we could have all been fine with, trailers and stuff. Like with a singular trailer, I mean, sure, smaller companies that aren't like Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, they have less games to show because they're just one developer, But just the fact that they spent over 10 minutes on Rainbow Six Extraction, I felt that was unnecessary. There was a lot of stuff that didn't have to be there. Like they even wanted to make like announcements on their movies and TV shows, and I'm like, why the hell is this on E3? E3 is mostly about video games. It's supposed to be about video games. If you want to make those type of announcements, you can make them, sure, but make their own presentation for that stuff. Like announce them randomly on YouTube. Nintendo's done it multiple times, so. Yeah, like another issue I had with the presentation was just the obscene amount of cutscenes. Like cutscenes were just very long. That's also something that I felt could have shaved off, minutes upon minutes from the presentation. It was bloated, it was just way too long. And, sometimes spending way too much time on one title can get other fans of other series a little frustrated because they're like, okay, I want this to be over because I want to see a game that I'm actually interested in. And even though maybe these companies are trying to see who can make the longest presentation, I don't think that's the mindset, but that's sure what it looks like. I think that shouldn't be the focus. The focus should be to go straight to the point. Show us the games, show us the gameplay. If you want to show us cinematics, go ahead, but go game after game, and then another game, and then another game. If you want to focus time on one title, fine. But in my opinion, 5 minutes top should be the amount of time a singular title gets on a presentation like this. On an overall general presentation with different games, 5 minutes. That's not to say I thought the presentation was awful, completely terrible. I do have my highlights with it. There were things I liked about it. Personally, I have two highlights from this presentation that I liked, and those were Riders Republic and Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I think Riders Republic looks really cool. It looks like a lot of fun, like a super extreme sports game with a lot of fantasy elements added to it, a lot of crazy elements. It just looks really fun to play with your friends. You're playing against hundreds of people racing, and I like the whole first person perspective that you get on the bicycle, and those glider jetpacks that you use to fly around, and you're flying with hundreds of people all around, and the sports just look really fun. In general, I think it looks great, and I think it's going to have a strong community of people playing it. Hopefully they do maintain the online for this game, and they keep adding content over time. I haven't heard anything from microtransactions at the moment, but I wouldn't put it past me. That would be horrible. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope they don't add thousands of microtransactions on this thing, because it looks really good and I want to play it. Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. I did not expect that name. I just expected Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2 or something like that. And I did not expect the game to be what it actually is. We actually got this game leaked a couple days earlier, and people were already talking about it, which was very unfortunate. We didn't get to see the full reveal and everything, obviously if you kept yourself from the leaks, you kept away from the leaks, you probably didn't even see the name. But I think that this is how you make a sequel. You expand upon the formula and you make it better. And it looks like they're taking their time with this. It looks like it's coming in 2022. It's not rushing out to come out this year. The team seems very passionate. That's something I liked when we got to the developers interview. They were very passionate about how they love Nintendo and how they like the Mario Rabbids franchise that they've created, and how they just wanted to make another one, and they did. I hope this game sells better than the original. The original sold like a couple of million copies around here and there, so I hope it sells even better than that. And they can keep making, Mario Rabbids game. I know a lot of people don't like the Rabbids, but in general, Mario Rabbids is a good game. Like, it's a quality tactical RPG, which nobody expected. I'm thrilled by the idea of a sequel to a game like that, and I'm very happy that Nintendo was able to give away the license to their most precious IP, and Ubisoft is just making another cool game with Mario, I love that they're expanding upon the formula. The areas look a lot more open. It's not like asymmetrical like the first one where the camera was kind of asymmetrical and stuff. Here the camera, you can actually move it. We actually see this in the first clips of the gameplay. On top of that, they also show that there's a lot more freedom of movement when it comes to the battles. It looks great. It just looks really good, and I hope they show us more about this game and see what other new features they have. The story already looks really cool. The fact that Mario and the Rabbids are going to space on this epic adventure to fight in a dark evil, something like that, something super amazing. It's so cool. It's so good. And I hope more people get behind this. This game is always on sale. It's usually about $20 with all DLC included. Sometimes even $15 with all DLC included. Maybe even lower than that at some point. So if you have the chance to try this game, I would definitely recommend it. It is a quality tactical RPG, and I can't wait for Sparks of Hope to release in 2022. So the next presentation we're going to talk about, the Square-Enix one, and I'm pretty sad this one was very disappointing to me. I didn't have a single highlight from this one. I didn't took anything that I was really excited about. I guess Babylon's Fall looks pretty cool, but in general, the way the presentation was handled, again, it had the same issues as the Ubisoft one. They spent 17 minutes on Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which the game looks pretty cool in certain aspects. I do hope it's much better than Avengers, though I can't really, trust them on that. The developers do seem to be making a sort of better job on some aspects, I guess. I don't know what the execution of this game will be. I don't know how cool it's going to be, but some aspects look cool. But the fact that they spent so much time on that one game, seriously, this is a Square-Enix presentation, and you spent 17 minutes on a Marvel IP. What the heck? And the biggest offender of all, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. Picture this. Square-Enix knows people love these games, and they want them. So what do? They release them on Steam and mobile only. How? Why? Why are you only keeping this to Steam and mobile? I'm pretty sure people playing on their PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch would love to have this game. Especially the Switch, which is a perfect fit for classic games like these. Why the heck do you keep this only on Steam and mobile? That's just ridiculous. It's cool that it's coming, but I hope at some point Square Enix gets the message that, they should have had this game on all systems. There was no reason this game couldn't have been released for all systems. The fact that they're just putting it on Steam and mobile, classic titles that gamers have been, playing for years, they're being remastered and they look better and all. Just coming to PC and mobile devices, it's absolutely ridiculous. There is no reason this should only be on PC and mobile. I do not know why Square Enix made that decision, but we'll have to wait and see what they do if at some point they get the message about this. I thought the presentation was pretty disappointing in general. They are making some cool games like Babylon's Fall and the new Final Fantasy that they showed off, but I didn't have personal highlights for this one, and I'm pretty disappointed about that, but that's all right. It's just a game presentation. I just think I disliked this one the most out of the presentations I've watched so far. So yeah, it is what it is. But I hope that eventually, they said they were going to make more Square Enix presentations like this one, around the year. Stay tuned for that. So I hope the next ones are much better than this one and are better paced and don't spend 17 minutes on a Marvel game. Jesus. So let's end things on a positive note. This is the one presentation that, in my opinion, has been my personal favorite at the moment, the one I've liked the most. I'm pretty sure the Nintendo one's going to take this one down. But either way, the Xbox game show was really cool. I liked it. They did exactly what I was complaining about, Ubisoft and Square-Enix. They didn't spend too much time on a single title. They went game after game. Obviously, they had like a little more focus on more important games like Halo Infinite and stuff like that. But they didn't just spend like minutes upon minutes, like 20 to 30 minutes on one game. They spent a decent amount of time on important titles, but they showed another game and then another game and then another one. They just went with trailers. That's all it should be, straight to the point with trailers. No developer interviews, no long periods of time on one title, no exceedingly long cutscenes, nothing like that. They showed the games, they showed us the gameplay. There was a decent balance. Some of them were teaser trailers, and it was really funny on when they showed The Outer Worlds 2 that they were like, the developers don't even have the name for this game, and they were very self-aware about that. It was really cool. The sense of humor in that game, I've heard, is really good, so that was pretty cool from them. And just, if I had to say if I had any personal highlights from this one, I'd say Atomic Heart and Slime Rancher come to light. I like the way Slime Rancher 2 looks. It looks really cool. It looks beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. The graphics and everything. It looks like a fun game. I haven't played the first one, but I think this one looks really good, and I'd be willing to try the first one just to check out what the fuzz is all about. I think this presentation is what all gaming presentations should be. Just go on with the trailers. Don't spend way too much time on one title. Get to the point. Like, they had big games. They gave us more information on Halo Infinite, plus Starfield, because they now own Bethesda. And they also gave us some information on, not information. We got a teaser trailer for The Outer Worlds 2. So I think in general the presentation was incredible. It was a little bitty tiny itty bitty disappointing not to see, more from Fable, the next Fable game, but I'm pretty sure at some point we're gonna see more of that. Overall, I think out of all these presentations, this was the one I enjoyed the most, and the example to follow when you're making a game presentation. Just go on with trailers. Don't spend way too much time on one title or exceedingly long cutscenes. Give us the trailer, give us a decent amount of gameplay so that we can see, the actual games. That's what we're actually excited for, to play the games. So far, this has been the number one. Out of all these three, I'd say this one takes the number one spot. And Ubisoft takes the second spot, I would say number 2. And then, Square Enix, number 3, just the worst one, the worst offender of all so far. Either way, great presentation. I can't wait to see what else E3 has in store for us. Overall, guys, let's keep being excited for E3. There's still a lot more to come when it comes to the presentations coming. So let's keep being excited. There's still Nintendo, Capcom, Bandai Namco, a couple other more presentations. It's okay if you were disappointed by some of these, or there were things you didn't see, in these presentations that you wanted to see, but that's okay. We still got more show to go. I'm excited for what's next, especially Tuesday with Nintendo. I can't wait for that. I hope. Are you excited for E3? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell me all about what you thought about these presentations. Do you agree with my opinions? Do you strongly disagree? Let me know in the comments what you did like about the video, what you didn't like. Comment down below. Let's keep talking about E3 because there's still more E3 to go, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some exciting reveals in the near future. This has been Richie from Richie Studios. I'm your host. Now and always, take care.